Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Chef Jason Morse, the Ace Hardware grill expert and the owner of 5280 Culinary Provisions, and welcome to our Red Vest approved video. So let me grab this here. I'm going to take you guys on a ride, and we're going to talk a little bit today about turkeys, because 'tis the season for the world's best turkey, right? This guy right here is the talk of the town. This is what makes you a hero or a zero at the dinner table, and we're here to make you a grilling legend. So we're going to talk a little bit about brines today. What is a brine, you ask? Well, really at the core of what it is, a brine makes a really super flavorful bathwater that we soak our turkey in. But let's take a look at this. We're going to focus today on bayou brine, but I want to show you something. Look at the back of this guy. Look at that. That is full of herbs, spices, salt, sugar, and aromatics. And what that mixture does, we add it into our stock pot here. We pour in some water. We mix it up really good. Then we let it cool. We add some ice water to it. And then we soak that guy, the bird, right? So when it comes to Christmas, we know prime rib is it for Christmas. When it comes to Thanksgiving, it's all about this guy right here. And we want to pick the best bird possible. So what did we pick? We went with a local. We use Redbird Farms, local to us here in Colorado. We love these guys. The birds are fantastic. But this is what we really like. Look at this. Minimally processed. No artificial ingredients. No preservatives. Comes with the giblets if you like those, which is awesome. Has naturally retained water, which is cool. But you know what they didn't add to this? They didn't add a brine or a pump or a salt solution or anything, which really allows us to control the flavor from the package to the platter. If you buy a turkey, let's say you get a turkey as a gift from work, and it may have 6%, 8%, 10% solution, don't worry about it. The standard brine process for us is about 45 minutes a pound for a good all-natural bird. Let's say you get one that has a little bit of brine already in it, don't sweat it. Now we're gonna go maybe 20 or 25 minutes a pound to still impart a really nice flavor of bayou brine into your turkey. So let's take a trip over here. We're cooking on the gas grill today. Yeah, we're not roasting a turkey. We're not smoking a turkey. We are grilling a turkey. So hold on, let's take a little sensory trip through this guy. And that has been on for 45 minutes. So we did the spatchcock method, where we cut the back out of the turkey, we split the breast cage, and make basically a flat turkey. We'll take a little aerial trip over our turkey as well. The nice thing about this, I can now take this 15.5-pound bird and grill it and have a beautifully grilled, juicy turkey, 55 to 75 minutes, depending on how I do it. I've got the grill set on 350, but check it out. I'm cooking direct, so I've got all the burners on. The nice thing, this little area here, this is my smoke zone. So if I want to add some smoke to the bird, guess what? I put my smoker box in here, a little hot. I put my smoker box in here, I put in a smoking tube in here. The smoke just billows its way around and around and around and around and makes a really delicious turkey. So, all right, we talked a little bit about the brines. We talked a little bit about the grill. We got the iGrill in there with our temperature probe. So now we get the joy of kind of lazy man's grilling and turkey roasting, where you get to sit inside and enjoy the bird watching from the comforts of your couch. So, all right, we talked through a lot of stuff. Let's talk about how we do this. So a couple things you need when it comes time to brine. You need a bucket. I love these Ace Hardware buckets. They work great. Make sure it's clean. This is definitely not the time to use your rock bucket for turkey. We grabbed a brand new Ace bucket, totally clean. We're set to go. We've got a stock pot because we need to add 2 quarts of water to this, pour our brine mixture into it, bring it to a boil, all the salt and sugar dissolves, and we're good. We have 1.5 gallons of ice water. Very important ice water. And we have our prepped, defrosted turkey. You know what? If you're gonna defrost your bird, definitely do this in the refrigerator. This is not something you leave on the counter or leave in the sink. Give it 2 or 3 days to defrost. If you're gonna brine, you know what? 20% still frozen, it's good. Keeps this water nice and cold. I think one of the most important tips from food safety standpoint, this all has to be cold. You want an ice cold bird going into an ice cold brine into your bucket with a lid, and then this guy can go in your refrigerator in the garage. If you don't have a refrigerator in the garage, we take one of our coolers and open it up. We set the bucket in there and we pile ice around it, on top of it. The key is making sure the ice is up to the level of the brine, because you really want this to be ice cold. It has to stay cold during the brining process. And brining, 45 minutes a pound. that is a really good time to make sure you get a very flavorful bird. If you want a stronger flavor, the answer isn't 50 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes a pound. The answer is a stronger brine solution, okay? The longer you brine something, the more it will actually start to cure it. So brine the same time structure, but stronger brine. All right, so check this out. Here's what we're gonna do. Pour this guy in here. So we've basically got 2 quarts of water, right? We bring this to a boil, and we let that dissolve. We stir it so that the salt and sugar get a chance to dissolve, the spices activate. Oh man, this smells so good. All right, now while that's kind of doing its thing, our bird is prepped. Let's grab this guy, and into the bucket we go. I always do the cavity up because I definitely want that brine to get in the cavity and help keep our bird ready to go. So now this brine is melted. Life is good. Once I'm done, I turn this off, I bring it to a boil, turn it off, everything is dissolved. Let this sit. This can sit for 3 or 4 hours to cool to room temperature. And now that this is cooled to room temperature, we're gonna add to this our ice water. We're gonna try not to splash all over ourselves or the phone, all right? So then, we give this a stir again as well. This ice water and that cold brine really make sure you are gonna have a safe, delicious, wonderful turkey. Then, into the bucket. And not on the counter. All right. So that is what we've got. We've got a beautifully covered bird. Look at that. That is totally covered. That is exactly what you want. Now what we do is put our cover on here, throw this guy in, like I said, either in the fridge or in the cooler, and you're good. So this was 15 pounds. How you do the math, it's 45 minutes a pound, which is 3/4 of an hour. I take the weight of my bird times 0.75, and that will tell you how many hours. So if it's a 10-pound bird, you need 7.5 hours. That's right. Good job. Took me a minute to think too. But basically take the weight of your bird times 0.75, and that gives you the amount of time. What I like to do then too, I put a little post-it note on here. I write bird in at this time, bird out at that time. I'm done. I don't have to think about it again. I get to chillax and enjoy. So that's it for the brine process. When we come back, we're going to pull it out of the brine. We're going to spatchcock it. We're going to load it on the grill. See you in a minute. All right, so here, check this out. Our brine was so cold in the refrigerator that we still have ice, which to me is really good because the whole part of this process is making sure we're really, really safe. So that makes me happy. Now that you're done, wash this Ace bucket out. Now it becomes your rock bucket. And then next year, you can buy another new Ace bucket, and then you start an Ace bucket collection. So, all right, here's our bird. We brined it. We actually started a little bit of the spatchcock process just to kind of get this going. But look at, basically all we're gonna do is take a really good pair of shears or one of our chef's knives, and we're just cutting the back out of this guy. And that's really what you wanna do. And then what we'll do again is we'll go right up here into the center. We'll make a cut here. And we wanna break that, right? And now, the great thing is, look at that. Now our bird is 100% flat. So we've taken that 6-hour grilling process or 6-hour roasting process and turned it into this. So here's when you add that accompanying rub, okay? If you want a little bit extra flavor, you can add it to the rub, to the inside or the outside. This is where you do it. So here's what I do, very carefully. Grab this guy by the legs. Don't tell anyone. Come on over here. We have our Weber preheated. We preheated it to 400 because we know that we're gonna lose a little temperature when we open it. But check it out, super easy. And then what we do is we'll take our iGrill probe or any of our temperature probes that we have, we'll load it into the thickest part of the breast or the biggest part of the leg and the thigh. But listen, good sear, good sizzle, life is good. And that is our turkey. On the right-hand side here, we've got our turkey that's almost ready. So let me clean up super quick. When we come back, we're gonna cut and eat a little of our turkey. So here we are, this is done. This is 90 minutes it took us from start to finish to cook this beautiful, delicious, wonderful turkey. We brought it up to its proper temperature. We pulled it at 170 degrees. We let it rest. It carried to 178. Still nice and juicy. I think it smells pretty good, right? Ooh. So I'll let you sample. We're both gonna sample. We wanna make sure that this meat cuts mustard, right? We wanna make sure it hits the pretty good.
That is definitely Red Vest approved.
So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace Hardware, and also check out acehardware.com for more tips, tricks, and all the advice you need to become a turkey superstar. Because after all, we're going to make you a rock star at grilling. That's what we're all about. We'll see you soon.